Hi, my Perky Pisces, and welcome to my channel, the Zodiac Love Tarot. This is your Pisces 2020 Astrology Yearly Tarot Forecast, and I'm so glad that you were able to join me. And if you're coming back off of November and December readings, you know that we did a lot of 12th house karmic cleansing, but this time we're going to be doing a special spread for the year of 2020. It is the Celestial Tarot Wheel of Life spread, and it is going to walk you through month by month and house by house to let you know exactly what the messages are that are coming from you from the planets. And we have a lot of planets doing some crazy things, like Saturn conjunct Pluto, and then Jupiter and Pluto meeting up, and a lot of that's going to be happening in your 11th house, Pisces. So it's going to be some really interesting stuff about your friends, about the people you hang out with. We're just going to find out a lot. So let's get down to the cards and get started. But first, I have to tell you that I'm feeling like a lot of energy coming back from some people, some Pisces that are telling me that they've been here before, and they're telling me that they still have a few questions about maybe feeling a little bit isolated, I'm getting. But don't worry, you can't stop worrying. We're gonna, I have a feeling this year is going to be good for you, and there won't be any more isolation feelings. I mean, you've been really reflecting in 2019 and going deep, and I know that because that's why I did that 12th house clearing for you in December. So let's just get down to the cards, and I think it's going to be really good for you, okay? So let's just get down to it. I've already lit a couple of candles for you. One is for you to have peace in 2020. The other is for you to have some romance, because who doesn't like romance, right? And I'm going to just put some of that Pisces energy into these cards real quick and give it a couple of shuffles. And if you're really excited about this, Pisces, about seeing what is going to happen to you for 2020, please leave me a comment down below. And if you know me already, and start to like the video for me, because that's going to help with the engagement, so I can reach more Pisces out there, so I can give them, all of this really good energy in these readings, and I can give love back to them just like I do to you today. And then also subscribe so that you can come back to me and see me in January, February, and then the months to come. But we're going to look right now to see what is going on for you for 2020. And this is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Now, I do not lie about the cards. I always put them out fresh, so the energy is really in there, and I have already done some readings for the other signs, and they were shockingly accurate. I mean, it was just amazing, some of the stuff that came out of these cards, and I'm hoping the same for you, Pisces. So stay with me to the end. I will try to go through it as fast as I can so you don't get bored, but just try and stay in there with me, okay? And because trust me, each month that unfolds is just going to be a token in your pocket so that you can figure out exactly how things are going to unfold, and if you have any pitfalls that you might need to sidestep. So we're going to look first at January, and this is your first house here, but also in your 11th house in January, you're going to have Saturn conjunct Pluto. And then in your 5th house in January, you're going to have a lunar eclipse. So we're going to talk about all that, okay? So let's turn it over. The first card we get for you is this Cancer card, and it's also the Chariot, okay? So with the Chariot card being upside down, it's talking about maybe you've lost your direction somehow. That is... that's a tough spot to be in, having lost your direction this year, and I don't know exactly why, but I'm feeling like this is old energy. This is old 2019 energy, and I'm not just making that up, Pisces. I really feel like this energy of you having like lost your way is about to change for you in January. So this is the message that Saturn is giving you, because Saturn is like the big daddy, the father who comes in and who shows you things and shows you a better direction. and also teaches you these lessons. And so what he's teaching you is to find your direction in January and don't give up. And also Saturn is giving you this very nurturing Cancer energy so that you can feel like you're not alone. You're not alone, Pisces. There are people who care about you, and that is what Saturn is trying to tell you, that you are not alone. And this is a beautiful card. So if you had been feeling, lost or have lost your direction, don't worry. You're going to be okay. And this just proves it right there. And in January, this nurturing is going to boost your personality. It's going to make you feel a lot better. Even if this is you just nurturing yourself, but I don't think so, because Saturn and Pluto are in your 11th house. And I think what that means is that other people are going to come in and they are going to be around you in January and help you feel a lot better and a lot less isolated, okay? All right, so that was a perfect start for that, okay? For perfect start for the year. And also there was also a little bit of lunar eclipse going on in your 5th house, and so that also means to me that you're going to have some creativity along with this letting go. And with the Chariot, you're going to be able to move forward with your creativity as well. So lots going on in January, okay? So that wasn't a bad lesson from Saturn. Some people get knocked on their butt from Saturn, but that was not too bad. Okay, so now we're moving on to February, and this is your house of substance and your finances and your resources. So let's just see what we have. Okay, you have the Prince of Cups. Now it is upside down for you for the Prince of Cups. So, but he does have that cup. So this is telling me that maybe where things have not felt like they've been working out for you, that could all change in terms of either money, or it could be in terms of a relationship. And the Prince of Cups has also the Pisces energy in there. So let me think. I'm trying to feel what this card is trying to tell me. I'm trying to feel, because there's some kind of hidden power in this card right here. And I'm feeling it right now. And it's telling me that maybe there was some unrealistic expectations going on, and for finances. And so that is why that card is upside down, because there was some unrealistic expectations. So if you just put your expectations, or check your expectations, make sure that you have a clear understanding of your career and what you can get out of it. And if it isn't serving you, Pisces, then you need to move on, okay? Because you're not going to have this cup, full here until you figure this out, until you move on. Because I feel like there's these expectations that aren't being met, and that there was some unrealistic expectations. And it could just mean that even the job that you have or the career that you have to change your expectations about it to move forward. So this is why we do these spreads, so that you can evaluate that for yourself, okay? And you also are going to want to use this Neptune energy in this card, because that is also going to give you this ability to get rid of delusionment and deception that could be affecting this expectation that you have, okay? So just do that, and that is the lesson there, and that will help you this year make more money. Okay, so now we're moving into March, and then that's going to be having Saturn in your 12th house, and this is also in the house of communication. So this is the Hierophant, and it's upright for you. This is a very good card to have for communication. This is telling me that for communication, and also in your 12th house, what you're going to be looking at is going back to your higher learning for your communication, or going back to the wisdom that you have learned. Because with the Hierophant here, I don't know if you could see that, but he's in the background, with his hand up there, trying to be a reminder, because this is also a cautionary card saying that you don't want to spend too much money. You don't want, you want to stay grounded, because as humans, we can, you know, fall into these pleasurable situations that just, it's sort of like hedonism in a way. So you don't want to fall into that. And you want to use your higher wisdom, and you want to use tradition and structure and things like that to stay on track. And that is going to be how you stay on track in your 12th house, and also how you communicate to the world. You're going to use this Taurus energy and this Venus energy to do that with, okay? So this is an interesting card to get for your 12th house. It's just a reminder to use your higher wisdom and to go back and really think about the things that you've learned. If there were books that helped you spiritually, go back and read them again. If there's some sort of religion that helped you spiritually, go back and revisit that, okay? And communicate these things, maybe not to other people, but maybe to yourself. So this is just a reminder, okay? And not to let, you know, yourself become victim to, you know, too much world of pleasure. You need to make sure that you stay grounded, okay? And not be frivolous in your inner mind, okay? So that's a very deep message. It's almost hard to interpret that message, okay? But the Hierophant is not always easy when they try to tell you something, okay? A lot of it is such hidden information. Okay, so now we're moving on to April. Let's hope we get a little bit lighter, and I think we will, because now we have Jupiter and Pluto in your 11th house and also in your house and home. So that's telling me some good news. Everything around you, all the people around you that you love, and all your friends and family are going to have something to do with this card. And you have, okay, the Canis Major, and this is the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is upright for you, okay? So this is, let's see how this is supposed to be interpreted. This is telling me that it's actually kind of not good news. This is telling me that you are still trying to isolate yourself. And I don't know why, like, I don't know if it's just fear or something of that nature, but it has to do almost with like self-imprisonment. And I don't want you to experience that, Pisces. Like that's not good. And I'm gonna just pull the camera up and give you a hug like that, because I know I felt that energy of isolation before the reading started, and I'm not really sure why that's happening, but please, like this, I think that's why Saturn started with this card right here. And this is telling me that you have people who love you. Your family loves you, your friends love you, people care about you, but you're still cycling a little bit on this isolation where, like, it's almost like you're not telling yourself the truth. You're not telling yourself how you're not telling yourself truthful thoughts. So what you really want to do is go back and listen to your, not even go back, but listen to your thoughts as they come in. And if they're telling you that no one cares, or that no one's supporting you, it's not true. Sometimes in order to find people who support you, you have to reach out. So that's what this card is telling me here, that you really need to reach out. And this can mean transformation for you. And with this having the Gemini in here as well, and also having this Venus energy, it's saying to reach out to the people that care about you, that have the most unconditional love for you. Okay, that was deep. That was a pretty deep card. All right, let's go back down for a minute, okay? Because this is getting deep. Now we're going into May, into your house of creativity, and Venus is going into retrograde there, and it's also going into retrograde in your 4th house. So let's take a look at what you have. You have the Emperor. That's amazing. And it's also upright. So this is telling me that the messages that you were sent in April, this one about not isolating yourself, is going to put you in this position. So I want you to just look at this card and I want you to meditate on it. This is going to, whenever you come out of your metaphorical self-induced, isolation, you are going to come out on top like the Emperor, and you're going to have like this need to want to get out and start something fresh. You're going to also have just this really amazing magnetic energy where people think that anything you start is going to turn into something amazing. And this is your house of creativity that you have here. So when you're ready, this is what's going to happen. You are just going to come full force and take over. And people are going to see that. And this is just a really, really amazing card. And it's also your family is going to see you this way as well. Like, that is cool. And anything you manifest at that time is just going to come out on top. But you're also going to have this stern ability to just get it done. So whatever creative thing you want to start, May is a good time, even though Venus is in retrograde. It may also mean that you might put your relationship on hold just for a little while, until you make this creativity come to fruition. But remember to always include your partner. Even though you're putting it on back burner, just make sure that person knows that you're there for them and that you love them, okay? And now we're going on to June, and this is where you have a lunar eclipse in your 10th house and a solar in your 5th, and this is your house of service. So this has got a lot to do with your career, the rituals around your career, and it's also going to have to do with your creativity again. So let's see what happens. Okay, so you got the salamander, you got the 10 of wands, okay? And this is upright for you. So this means that when you came out of your shell and you used this Aries energy for your creativity, you started maybe a few too many projects. You need to hone in on the one thing that is really going to bring you happiness and bring you abundance, because you might be trying to bite off a little bit more than you can chew. And that's sometimes what Aries does, is they start a lot of different things and they never finish the one thing that was most important to them, or the one thing that could have been the thing they hitched their horse to. Okay, so just make sure you look out for that, not to bite off more than you can chew, especially in June. Make sure that you have a routine down that is going to benefit the one thing, the one priority that is going to work out for you the best. Now let's move into your house of partnership and to your 7th house. And this is in July, and you have Saturn going in retrograde in your 11th house. So mix between, again, the family partner or whoever you're partnering with, and also your social network. So we have cardinal air. This is a really good sign. It's the King of Swords. It's upside down. So this is a warning to tell you that you're going to have to use some air energy, Pisces. And air energy is all about communication. It's about balance. It's about love. It's about clarity. It's about being decisive. It's about knowing the truth and being fair. So in your relationship, this is what you need. You need fairness. You need clarity. You need balance. You need just this unconditional love. And this King of Swords is giving you this gift. But it's also a warning saying that if you're not careful with this partner that you have, if you're not using this kind of energy, your relationship may not be as intimate as you would like for it to be, okay? And there's just, this card is amazing to have for a partnership, but just make sure you're using this energy. And also on the flip side of this, it could be that your partner is going to bring some clarity into your life, okay? Because it could also mean the other person is going to help you balance. So maybe if you're, both of you need to use this energy, but it could be that they've already started this energy for you because, you know, they saw this Aries coming out of you after you came out of isolation, and they wanted you to learn balance because they also saw all of these things that you had going on, and that person was there for you and trying to help you decipher, help what, you know, what is your top priority. So that could be a nice, you know, partner helping you out in that situation. So that's good news. And now let's see, the next card is in August, and this happens to be about your intimacy. So maybe this is a clarification card that's going to tell us more about your relationship. Okay, and you got the Centaurus, and this card was upside down, so this is telling me that you're lacking in some healing, and the partner that you have, the intimacy is going to be around healing your emotions. It's going to be around healing your spirituality, and also making you feel like you can trust and be closer to a person. So that is what this card is telling me, in order for you to like feel some freedom in the relationship. This is another lesson here from Saturn, okay? And this could be carrying over from July, from Saturn, because Saturn was in retrograde. And this, with the house of intimacy, this is basically telling me that your lover is, you and your lover need some healing. Now that is the energy that I'm getting right there. And there's also this Virgo energy in here saying that it has something to do with maybe purity. There's maybe some distrust, but you have to heal from that. It could be old distrust from another relationship, and maybe that's why some of that isolation was happening in the first place. There could be some heartache that is still being held on to. But in order for you to get closer to your partner, you're going to have to heal from that, and that is why the card was upside down. Because why don't you do this for me now? Why don't you start doing things to heal? Like, go back to the December reading for the 12th house karmic cleansing, because I really think that that's going to help you, Pisces, get some of this healing where it won't be such a struggle on your relationship, you know, in August, because you do have this beautiful energy in your house. You just need to use it. And I think that you want to go back and do some meditating and go back and look at the 12th house karmic cleansing. And let's just go back down now to, now we're in September. And in September, Mars goes in retrograde, also in your house, second house of careers. And this may keep you from going on some foreign travels or something, because that's the house that we're on right now, is the 9th house in September. And you got fixed water, okay? Pisces, fixed water. So you're a mutable water sign. So what that's telling me is that you're able to adapt to change. But in this situation, with your career, and also just with these 9th house possibilities here for like even higher education and stuff, you need to be fixed in your job. You need to be fixed in your 9th house. And I think that what this is trying to tell me is that you might have to grow. You need to grow in your job, and that may be some higher learning, and maybe you need to go to school for that, because that could mean exactly with this card, and that you need to have this fixed water ability to maintain something. Like maybe you need to maintain a new avenue at work by learning something. That's the energy that I'm getting. That's always a tough energy for me to explain, because when it's about learning, it's not an energy that gives me like some kind of, swelling up of feeling. It's not a feeling, it's more like just a message of you need to go back to the drawing board and learn something, and it may take you on a travel, some kind of going abroad to learn, but it's a learning card, and you need to be fixed in that water and your capabilities of doing that. You may need to use some emotions in that situation too. I'm not sure exactly why that would call for emotions, but there's also that Scorpio. There's Scorpio energy in that card. Now I can feel what's going on with this card. There's Scorpio energy in there. So it's Scorpios are very like analytical, and they are very passionate about what they do. So this is telling me to be passionate about your job, passionate about what you do, go higher learning, even if you have to go abroad. That's what needs to happen there. Whew, that took some time for me to feel out that energy. Let's go back and let's see what now is in October. So we have October, and this is again in your house of career. So this is the Hercules card. So that card is upright for you. So what that tells me is that higher learning that you went on that journey for and worked so hard for and were so passionate about, that is like Hercules went on 12 labors, and that 12 labors made him learn something very important, and that's how he became victorious. So what this is telling me is that you're really going to smash it in your career in October. You are going to really have some abundance. You're going to grow. You may even get a promotion. Something good is going to happen to you in October for your career. That's an excellent card to have. Excellent. Okay, now in November, which is in your 11th house, you have a lunar eclipse again in the 4th. So it's about this friends, family thing going on right here. This whole spread has a lot to do with friends and family, with your close relationship, with healing, with not feeling isolated, and using this nurturing energy here to understand that people care about you. And now in November, we're circling back, and you have this lunar eclipse that's happening. So this lunar eclipse is going to give us some clarity about the friends and family, okay? And you have the Lyra card, and it's upright, okay, which is also the Seven of Wands. So this is telling me that with your friends and family, you're still trying to protect yourself for some reason. And that's okay. I mean, I think Pisces just naturally try to protect themselves because they can see deeper than other people. And this is, a message that's being sent. This is going to take sacrifice, is what's going to happen, is that in order for you to feel closer to your friends and your family, you're going to have to let more people in, Pisces. That's just, it just keeps coming around. And another lesson, I don't know how I can tell you more than that. There's people out there who care about you. There are people that you can turn to. There are people that you can trust. And you don't have to make as big a sacrifice as you think, or protect yourself as much as you think from, people in your social network. You just have to be a little more trusting, and that's going to help. And so this is some of the lessons that Saturn is trying to teach you this year. So be a lot more open with your friends, reach out to them more, call them more, send them a card, send them an email, send them something on Twitter, Facebook, social media. There's so many ways to connect, and that's what I feel like you need to do in November, is get out there and connect. Whew, okay, so now we have the final card in December. This is your hidden resources, and you have a solar eclipse in your career house. So let's just find out, because we did talk a lot about career in this spread. We talked a lot about friends and family. So this year is going to be all about friends and family and your career. So we're going to see how this pans out and how this sums up for December. Oh my gosh. This is the Sun card. This is your December. So this is telling me right here that you are just going to be joyous and you are going to be happy, and your career is going to have worked out, and all the sacrifices you made were amazing, and this is how your year is going to end up. Like, this is just burning my hand, Pisces. This Sun card is, I was kind of worried about you, to be honest, around this. I was like, oh my God, please tell me for December I'm not going to have like this really terrible card telling me that you couldn't get through this, or that you were still feeling isolated or not trusting, or you still had all this healing that you had to do, because that's not a good place. I think starting out with this Chariot card was really where you need to skip some of this other stuff. I mean, the creativity with Aries is great, but don't bite off to more than you can chew. And also let go of those unrealistic expectations and use this higher wisdom. I think the first thing you want to do after you get off this video is go back and start doing some meditating, some chakra clearing, some reading. Read some books that are going to help you grow spiritually and help you heal. Start reaching out to your friends already. Start making new connections with people, and start going back and looking at things that can help you improve at work, because all of those things are stuff that you can get a jump start on. But don't do this, even though I'm telling you all of this stuff, don't bite off more than you can chew. Just take it step by step. First thing I feel like is to get rid of the isolation feeling by using the Chariot, and then go back in, get the healing done. Will help with your partnerships. So you and your partner need some healing that needs to be done, and then you start going out and learning more about the job, because I think that's where you're going to need your friends and your family and everything, where you're going to need to reach out to people. And this is what's going to happen in the end. So I'm sorry I kind of blew it for you. Spoiler alert about your year. But hey, you're the one who clicked onto the video, so now you know. But anyways, Pisces, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for coming to my channel. If you like this reading, you thought it was helpful, please give me a like, give me a share, or give a share to another Pisces friend that you know that might benefit from this reading. And also subscribe to the channel, please, because the more people who subscribe, and the more videos you're going to get, and the more engagement that I'm going to get, and I'll be able to keep bringing these messages to you. Okay, Pisces? And if you could just do that for me, that'd be great. And I really also want a comment or two, just letting me know how you felt about the spread, what you thought about the layout of the video or something like that, because I really want all of my subscribers to get exactly what they want, so that I can keep making the channel better and better for you. And so yeah, that's it. And thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful 2020, Pisces, and I will see you hopefully in January and February if you subscribe.